What's up, guys? Today I am going to talk about how you can legitimatize your business if you're doing it out of your home and you don't have all of your business set up properly and it's not structured any type of way. So I did this with a student of mine. She is enrolled in my course that goes through the financial system that you should have in your business when you are a self-employed barber or hairstylist. And this is just something that we needed to walk her through before the course starts, because this is what she needs to have in place even before we begin. So I'm going to go through these things with you. I have them written out, and we'll just go one by one so that if you have any questions, you can leave them in the comments or find me on IG at The Money Savvy CEO. But for now, let's just go through them one by one. So the first thing that you have to do, or what I recommended that she do, because she does hair out of her home, ultimately the plan is for her to get a shop. But because she doesn't have it yet, I encouraged her to get a virtual address. Now, this is different from a P.O. box, because when you go to register for things, you will need a mailing address that's not a P.O. box. So that is one thing that I suggested. And I did this because she may not be in her home very long. So she doesn't want to get mail at her home if she wants to keep business and personal completely separate. And I always recommend just a line where, okay, if I'm home, I'm home. If I'm at work, I'm at work. And this is just one way to make sure that they're not interfering with each other. So setting up a virtual mailbox. Now, there are a lot of different virtual mailbox or mail addresses that you can sign up for. The one she signed up for today was $10 a month or $99 for the year. So I thought that was really good, and I think she signed up for the year just to save a little bit, but not expensive at all. So that's number one. The second thing is to register for her LLC. Now, I suggested this because when you have that LLC, you're protected against any liabilities. If you're ever sued, you have that protection and no one can go after your personal assets. Now, this also means that your business can have liabilities in the company's name and not in your name. So it's a separation, similar to how I said you should have a virtual address so that you can separate business and personal. Well, this LLC is making it so that legally you are separate from your business. So that was number two, registering for an LLC. Oh, one more thing here. So the registering of the LLC, we did hers in the state of Maryland, and it's really easy. Maryland has a very nice business website where registering for that LLC is extremely easy. So we didn't have to go through a third-party service like LegalZoom, or I know there are quite a few other third-party companies that will register your LLC, but I walked her through it and there was no need to spend additional money. Another thing I want to add here is that in most states, the LLC has to be renewed. So this isn't like a one-time thing and then it's like, oh yeah, I'm protected. It is typically annual. You'll have to check with your state, but that's at the state level. This has nothing to do, when you register this LLC, it's not doing anything on the federal level, because on the federal level for taxes, you're still considered a sole proprietor. So at the state level, register for your LLC, and that's going to protect you from any liabilities or debts in your business name, or if you're ever sued, they can't go after your personal items. Now, if you don't renew it, then that protection is in jeopardy. So you want to stay on top of that. Third thing that I told her was to register a trade name. Now, I did this because another thing that she was telling me was that the name that she's doing business with right now may not be her ultimate name. So we went with a more generic LLC name, and And then she can do a doing business as or a trade name. It varies with states. Some states call them D.B.A, some states call them trade names. So I recommended that she file for her LLC, and then the LLC can own the D.B.A. And that's what we did in her case. Now, one thing to note there is that when you are doing this all together, these two, unless you're going with like LegalZoom, but she wasn't, she did it through the state of Maryland. So she will have to wait until it's approved first and then go get her trade name, because we wanted to make sure that her LLC owns the D.B.A and not her as a individual. So that's a two-step process there. And you can do that, and then, so just to give you an example, I can have something that says my beauty business LLC, but I could be doing hair as Jennifer's Beauty Salon. So that gives you an example of the LLC and the trade name or the doing business as. And LLCs can have multiple DBAs, so just keep that in mind. The fourth thing is to register for employer identification number. Now that's on the federal level. This is important because this is what she's going to need when she goes to open a business bank account. This really is your federal, almost social security number, and this allows you to keep your social security number off of different items that you're filling out for your business, because they can take typically they'll take the EIN in place of your social security number. And this is absolutely necessary if you want to open up, and I encourage you to open up a business bank account. And there are a lot of scams out. And I won't say scams. Well, yes, I will. I'm gonna say scams, because there are so many third-party services that will file an EIN for you, and they will gladly charge you $200+. I mean, I almost got. I'm just being honest, because I hadn't registered for an EIN in a long time, and I knew it was free, and I did a Google search, and it came up, and it looked just like the IRS's website, and I was like, when did the IRS start selling EIN numbers? Luckily, I knew that all my other EINs were free, so I just went directly to the IRS's website and I found it. But I'm telling you, it was a scam, because it looked just like the IRS's website. Only theirs, you had to pay a fee, and it was like $269. So that is, I'm not even going to go there, but I was upset. So don't get got. Go to irs.gov. Go to the business area. It is right there, front and center, EIN registration. Don't get got. All right. So the fifth thing is to open a business bank account. Now, I'm a huge believer in keeping your funds separated. The IRS certainly wants you to keep your funds separated. It makes everyone's life easier, especially the business owner. You want to make sure that all of the money that's coming in is going into a separate account, and all of the money that's going out for the business is coming from that account. It just makes accounting a lot easier, and at tax time, there are no questions. You're not sifting through things. Oh, this was personal, this was business. It just keeps it really clean. The sixth and final thing is to sign up for an accounting software. This is going to be important because a lot of times, and I heard someone say this, they said, oh, well, I have Square or I have Acuity where I schedule my appointments, and it keeps track of all of your income, because that's how they book. Like if you're only doing appointments only. That's only one piece of it. That's just the income. That's just the revenue. You don't have, Acuity isn't monitoring what you are spending. Square isn't monitoring what you're spending unless you're, paying with Square, but they're only looking at those transactions. So you want a software that can pull in the revenue from multiple sources if you have them, and also wherever you're spending money, so that you can have the proper accounting and run your reports and just know the financial health of your business at all times. So there are a lot of different cloud-based softwares, and cloud meaning web-based. So you can access your books anywhere. You don't have to be at a particular computer where it's downloaded software onto that one computer. You don't have to do that. There are cloud services. So Google Cloud accounting software, there will be tons of them. So that was the 6th thing that I told her to do. And with those 6 things, she will be in a much better position while she's doing hair from home and, you know, protecting herself and being set up properly. And then she can transition into a salon on her own, and voila, she's already set up. If she wanted to, she could do a change of address with her LLC, or she can just continue to keep it as her just, you know, virtual mailing address for all of her business stuff. So there you have it. I hope this has been helpful. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. If you want to join me on IG, I am at, I forgot, I'm new to IG. So it's the Money Savvy CEO. That's where you can find me. All right, guys, until next time, next week, same place, maybe not same time, but yeah, I'll see you next time.